Hey guys, so I was trying to decide what the easiest way or what the easiest way to be would to teach you guys Shakespeare. And I started to think to myself and I said, well, self, you know what? I bet they would really like to have a little clue as to what they're reading. Um, One thing I want you guys, I can't stress enough. Shakespeare is in English, okay? It is not German. It is not in Latin. It is English. So when you're reading it, don't get tripped up on the way that the English is put together and find the things that you do understand, because what you're going to find is that you understand more than you thought you were going to. Okay. Some of it, it's not going to make a lot of sense because, you might need some notes of some sort. So what I thought I would do, there's two things. Number one, I'm going to give you a video like this one before you read each one of the scenes, okay? Not the acts. There are 5 acts in this play, because when you put an act together, there's different kinds of plays. You can have a 1-act play, 2-act, 3-act, 5-act, okay? If you think about a 5-act play, though, and you think about plot, what you're really looking at is, hey guys, I've got my plot that I'm putting together. At the beginning of it, it's going to be learning your characters. It's going to be setting the stage, getting your exposition set up. You're going to know where you're taking place, so your setting, all of those things. Act 2 is going to be part of your conflict, your rising action. Act 3 is a lot of times it's kind of building in with your rising action more, and then you get to possibly the climax, or you get to the climax in the 4th act, and then going into your falling action, and then your resolution is really going to be your 5th act. So that's the way this is going to be set up. So look for your storyline as we're reading this. When we start this, I went ahead and started on this page. This is what you're going to see when you open up your Schoology, is something like this. So I did take away the full text, not because I don't want you to read it, but because I split it up into each one of the weeks, okay? Your Romeo and Juliet audio is right here, so you can listen to it. You can look at the time assist. That's what I was talking about before, if you saw the video before this. And then I have a list of characters, and I'm going to go through that before we actually read Act 1, Scene 1, but it starts with a prologue. So with the prologue, what that really is for, what a prologue is for as far as this play goes, it's because they've kind of left out some information. It's written as a play, and they don't have all of the information that you might need in it. So they're kind of giving you background information. This is kind of like when you have your prologue and they give you some information before the story, same idea. So what I'm going to have you guys do each week is you're going to find the folder that is for this week, and you're going to click on it. And you're going to see that I have the prologue. Now, the video is not here because that's what you're watching right now, so it will be added. But for my picture, it's not going to be here. Go into the prologue, and when you click it, it should open in a new page, and you're just going to get something like this. Now, everybody has the same page, and I wanted everyone to have the same page on Google. The reason I want you to have that is because I am looking for you guys to do 2 things. Number 1, I want you guys to make annotated notes on here. So this is the introduction, okay? And the chorus is who says it. So let's say I haven't done this yet. I want you to highlight that, and you're just going to put a note over here, and you're going to say, who is the chorus? Okay, that's for me, that's so that we can look at it later. I'm going to make a comment, and it's going to be there for me to look at later, okay? That's one thing that I want you to look at so that you remember things that you need to know as you're going through the reading. The other thing I want you to do, anything in here that doesn't make sense that I didn't cover before the in the video, I want you to make sure you say something to me, because otherwise I don't know what you need or what you don't need. We are going to have one other thing. In your assignments for every day, there's going to be a discussion forum that's up. The discussion forum, and it wasn't in there yet, I'll get it there, is so that after you've read, you can put a question on there like, I didn't understand this. Now, it's going to look very similar to your annotated pieces, but this is going to be like, if you were lost on a certain setting, you don't know who someone is, you didn't understand some pieces, I want you to just put a quick question in there so that I can see it. Then when we have our all-together discussion on Zoom, we can make sure to talk about those. So anything I didn't cover, we can maybe cover through the Zoom video, okay, or when we get together. So I'm going to read this first one with you because it's short, and I'm just going to show you kind of how you need to look at this. If you look, Shakespeare is written in poetry, in kind of a poetry format. Okay, you're going to find rhyme, you're going to find some pieces that are very it's written as a sonnet, so it's going to be one of those things where you're looking at the poetic pieces that go with this. So in the chorus, this is the beginning, and remember, this is giving us background information. Two households, both alike in dignity, in fair Verona, where we lay our scene, from ancient grudge break to new mutiny, where civil blood makes civil hands unclean. From forth the fatal loins of these two foes, a pair of star-crossed lovers take their life. All right, we're given a lot of information here. Number one, if we look right here, we get our setting. Okay, the story takes place in Verona, where we lay our scene. That means that this is where our story is taking place. And it says a grudge breaks to new mutiny. That means we've got people that are fighting, right? So a grudge is just an argument. Down here, it says civil blood makes civil hands unclean. What that means is it's not like you have two towns going against each other. This is civil. It's between two families, okay? And in this fighting, we have a pair of star-crossed lovers. Now, star-crossed lovers are those who are never meant to be together, okay? There's some reason they're not supposed to be together, and it says they take their lives. So what do we know right at the beginning? We know that the star-crossed lovers are going to die. They're going to take their own lives. So this is something that's kind of a obvious foreshadowing, because we know that those things are going to happen. Now, we don't know when and we don't know how, but we know that this is setting our stage. We know at the very beginning, Shakespeare says, we've got people who aren't supposed to be together. These young lovers are going to take their lives. So, whose misadventured, piteous overthrows do with their death bury their parents' strife. Okay, so through their death, their parents who had this argument, it's like a family feud, the parents are going to bury their strife, bury their argument, that tension between families. And the continuance of their, the fearful passage of their death-marked love, and the continuance of their parents' rage, which but their children's end naught could remove. So the only way that the parents were ever going to try to get along is through the death of their children. Is now the 2 hours' traffic of our stage, the which, if you with patient ears attend, what here shall miss, our toil shall strive to mend. So in the chorus, we know, hey, this is a play. They're telling us this. So it's kind of like the narration. And it says, you're about to sit for 2 hours and you're going to learn the story of this tragic event. So we've just set the stage for Romeo and Juliet. Star-crossed lovers, family feud, lots of tension, lots of fighting. This is what we're in for with this. And we know that at the end, we're going to have death and we're going to have bonding. So that's kind of what we're looking at with each of these. Now, I went through all of these pieces. I didn't go through just, I'm not going to do this with all of the scenes. I'm going to let you read it. But what I am going to do is get on and kind of talk about some of the things that are happening. And at the end, I can go in and kind of say, oh, here's some things you may have missed. But I think it would be easier to let you read it and then for me to go in and explain some things that are happening in just a little video. So you'll get a video at the beginning and probably one possibly at the end, or it'll be the questions that you do with your discussion. Hopefully through the videos, I can kind of explain what's going on and it'll make more sense to you. So if not, you know, I say it all the time, contact me and let me know what we need to do to change it and make it better. All right, we'll see you guys soon.